What's going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show, aka Aiden, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Chicago Bulls and Boston Celtics game reaction. The Bulls ended up being a very resilient, tough, gritty type of team, fighting their way back for all three quarters to take the lead in the fourth quarter. And ladies and gentlemen, a couple of bad plays, a couple of foul calls in the end, put Boston ahead in the last couple of seconds, and we simply just could not come back from that as the Bulls suffer their third loss in a row, the first time this season. Throughout this loss, though, there is still a lot of positives that we can talk about. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the game today. Who was your player of the game, and everything involved about the Chicago Bulls and the Boston Celtics. In the end, we did fall short in this game. It was a tough game. I believe we lost 114 to 112. Again, I don't remember the exact score of the game, but again, it was a good positive game for the Chicago Bulls. And I think although we did lose this game, it was a lot of a different story compared to the last two losses between the Nets and the Warriors, where we got comfortably blown out with little to no effort in both of those games. This game was a different story. This game we provided effort. This game we made very positive that the Boston Celtics were not going to come into their home and have an easy time of things against the Chicago Bulls. And the defense was much better all the way around. The Chicago Bulls improved in this game against the Boston Celtics. It was a team effort. A lot of players stepped up offensively. But again, when I talked about the Golden State Warriors game, I mentioned the defensive effort, and I questioned and I called out the Chicago Bulls for their lack of effort on the defensive end. And that's something that they definitely picked up on and definitely improved on in this game. We kept with them and we had great offensive night, to be fair, but our defense, in my opinion, was better in this game. There was only one instance I can remember where I saw lack of effort on the defensive end, really, and it was mainly because of a layup scored by Io and then Jaylen Brown pretty much already at the other end of the court. Bulls don't track back and he gets a dunk. So in the end, yes, were the Bulls great defensively? I don't think we were great defensively. In the end, we gave up more than 110 points in the game. So we weren't great defensively, but I'm not going to be calling out their effort defensively today, and I think that's a positive to take away from the game. Obviously, on the offensive end, you saw so many players step up offensively that it does make me feel very proud of the Chicago Bulls team, even after a loss. Io had his first game with a double-double and his first 20-point game in today. Obviously, DeMar DeRozan stepped up in the fourth quarter. Some questionable things down the end, but again, he does step up in the fourth quarter. Vucevic, an unbelievably strong game for him. He was the one that caused the late foul, though, so at the end of the day, many people won't be very happy with him either, but he definitely had a strong game. Kobe White off the bench had 19 points, I believe, as well. He did very good. Overall, there's not too much to complain about on the offensive end. I thought, again, with no Caruso, no Derek Jones Jr., no Zach LaVine, no Lonzo Ball, you're asking for a lot for this team to score 130 points and to have an excellent game offensively. I thought this team was very good offensively, and I thought we kept in this game. I thought we could have done better defensively, but the effort was still there, and that's all I could really say on the situation. Looking at the late game situation for the Chicago Bulls as well, again, I think the foul from Vucevic was a very poor one to give. I understand that there was a player behind him that kind of pushed him into that foul, but again, he held the jersey, and the referees are going to see that all day long. So in the end, that's a very tough foul to give. You send someone to the free throw line, they end up making those two shots, and we fall behind in that game where we could have had an opportunity for Boston to take a little bit more of a tougher shot and force them to win the game instead of us giving them the game in many ways at the free throw line. That's a complaint to have. But again, we were down pretty much this entire game. Boston have a lot of their team healthy and ready to play. And the fact that we stuck in there for as long as we did, and we ended up taking it to the last shot of the game, it speaks volumes to the team play for the Chicago Bulls today. And it's something I want to see continue down the line, because when we play with team basketball, with all these guys out, imagine what we could be if we play team basketball with all the guys returning for the Chicago Bulls. We've seen how strong we can be when we play team unity basketball, when we're together and we're making sure everybody's looking out for each other, when we're switching on defense, when we're helping each other, when we're giving each other easy looks offensively. Everything of that nature is very important for the Chicago Bulls, and it's something that we do need to keep in mind and something we need to keep striving for in future games so we can end up getting some good wins when we get these guys back as well. It's a shame that we've lost 3 in a row the first time this season. And again, the first 2 games that we did lose are much more frustrating than this one. This is a game I can live with. It's a back-to-back. It's away from home with very little players in the squad. And we gave everything in this game. And we walked away just short. We could have ended up winning this game as well. It's a frustrating last 2 minutes. It's a frustrating last minute of the game. But if you look at it in its entirety, I don't see this as a bad loss for the Chicago Bulls. I see this as a loss we can build upon, and maybe we can see a little bit better in the next time out. Granted, we'll be versing a harder opponent in that time as well. Also, looking at the Boston Celtics side of things, because I do want to say that as well. In my opinion, I thought their fourth quarter wasn't very good. And in the end, they walked away with the win. I'm sure that's what they're going to take out of that situation. But they do have a lot of work to do in the fourth quarter. Again, the stats don't lie. They have one of the worst records in terms of the clutch moments in the NBA, despite having Jason Tatum, who's one of the clutchest players in the NBA at the moment. So, yeah, look, at the end of the day, this is not a Boston Celtics channel, but that is something that they need to work on. And they gave us an opportunity to win this game. Unfortunately, we just could not take it. Again, I don't have all the stats with me, ladies and gentlemen, so I won't be talking about every single player's stats. But I do want to say a special shout out to Io for a terrific game today, probably the best of his season. And we've been saying that quite a few times with Io Dosunmu. He's not always consistently dropping 15, 20 points every single night, but he is showing the grittiness. He is showing that he can guard players, people's best players every single night, and he's doing a tremendous job, in my opinion, as a rookie in the NBA. Full credit to him. I want to give a shout out to Kobe White, who continues to strive in the Chicago Bulls team. Even at our worst, he is still providing what we all expect from him, and that is bench scoring. And he dropped, again, maybe as a starter this time around, but he dropped 19 points, I believe, in this game, and he's continuing to raise the level, and hopefully we can see that coming off the bench when all of our guys return. A huge shout out to Vucevic for a really good night outside of the last minute, outside of the last foul of that game. I thought he was absolutely terrific. He got into the post, a nice posterizer on Enes Freedom, I guess that's his name. And at the end of the day, that was a really good moment as well, and I'm very happy for Nikola Vucevic for a game like this. I'm just really good. I'm really proud of this team, but also it does come at a loss. So I can't say I'm happy, I'm excited, I'm looking forward to what's to come and all of that, because we did lose the game, but I guess I can understand and I can appreciate the effort that the Bulls brought in this game. And it's something that we always want. Win, lose, whatever it is, all I want is effort. I want effort. I understand our situation. We don't have a lot of our players. Every team that versus us will look at our situation at the moment and see us as an opportunity to get a win. That's what teams will be looking at. And I'm sure that's the same way Boston felt today. But when you give yourself that energy, when you put every single bit of your heart and soul into a game, offensively and defensively, no matter who the opponent is, no matter who's out and who's in these games, you give your chance to win. You give your opportunity to win. And whether we win those games or we lose those games, that's all I want until we get our players back and we can start to play the Bulls basketball we all know and love. It's a tough situation. There's going to be a few games now where we might not see the best of our players, and we might not even see the best players on this team play. But we're just going to keep fighting through, find a way to maybe win a couple of these games. And even if we don't, just show the effort required to show that we are still a good team in this league and that we still have a lot to build on. So that's what I'm looking forward to, ladies and gentlemen. I don't blame Nikola Vucevic for missing the last shot. I thought it was a great shot. DeMar DeRozan's fade away, the air ball was kind of a heave. Can't really argue about that either. I thought we had 2 good looks at the basket and it just didn't fall in. And it was Boston's night tonight. I'm sure we'll verse them one more time and we'll see what will happen in that last game. But again, looking forward to our next game against the Memphis Grizzlies. They are on a hot streak, but I believe their win streak actually got ended by the Dallas Mavericks. Funnily enough, Dallas ended our win streak as well. So this is going to be an interesting game as well. We versed them in the preseason. They're a completely different team from the preseason till now. They are one of the hottest, red-hot teams in the NBA at the moment, and they're going to come full steam. That's in their home as well. The Bulls have to do a lot to win this game. If we win this game, it's going to be a massive win for our season. And if we lose this game, I think many people would have seen it coming in the first place, but we'll just wait and see. Bulls record is 27-14. The losses are starting to pile up a little bit now. Let's hope this win streak, or this losing streak, I should say, ends sooner than later. Have a wonderful and safe day, Bulls Nation. I'll see you in another Chicago Bulls video. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.